Dear friends, allow me to welcome you in the House of Moldovan Democracy. It is in this very room that on a Saturday just like this, on June 8th, 2019, a handful of young people, led by a woman politician, with no financial backers other than citizens with small donations to our party, managed to defeat an oligarch who was holding the Moldovan democracy in a stranglehold. It is thanks to the support of the citizens that we managed to provide the Republic of Moldova a chance. And thanks to this very support, we've later on received a strong mandate of 63% of seats in Parliament, a strong mandate for the European integration of our country, a mandate to fill the form with function. Because you might have seen in the Republic of Moldova, European flags have been all around for quite some time. But it is only now, for the past 2 years, that the Party of Action and Solidarity is actually providing meaningful reforms so that Moldova can live up to the expectations of its citizens and can achieve those benchmarks that are required for us to have this aspiration, to have this hope realized, to be part of the European Union, to return to the European family of nations from which we've been ripped apart for no fault of our own. You might know our troubled history. We used to be part of Europe. Most of us are Romanian citizens. We are European, not just by passports. We are European by our values. We are Europeans by our daily actions, including in this very chamber, where we have indeed, as my dear colleague Doina just mentioned, promoted gender equality, being a leader in Europe and doing better than some EU member states when it comes to women representation in politics, combating domestic violence, improving and fostering freedom of the media, improving 40 positions in the past year in the rankings of the Reporters Without Borders, supporting minorities in the Republic of Moldova, so that every citizen of our country can live up to his or her potential. But this path has not been and is not easy. When you have a terrible war of aggression nearby, when the neo-imperial ambitions of the Russian Federation continues to try to hold us hostage to our history and our geography. But our people have spoken loud and clear that they do not want to be held hostage. They want to own their future. And the only way that they can truly own their future and their sovereignty is to break with our past. For far too long, Moldovans have been looking back and second-guessing themselves at every step of the way. And it is only recently that we have been able to move full steam ahead towards European integration and the reform that this process entails. And we are thankful to our European friends and partners for supporting this ambition, for supporting us on this quintessential path for our people. It will not be easy, and we are not asking for any shortcuts. We know that the path ahead will be difficult. But it is in the interest of our citizens to implement justice reform, to combat corruption, to foster rule of law and protect the rights and liberties of every single citizen of our country. As my colleagues have talked in the previous speeches, we already see some meaningful results when it comes to energy security. If somebody would have told me 3-4 years ago that Moldova would be no longer buying Russian gas in 2 years' time, I would say that that is impossible. But impossible has been realized in Moldova in the past 2 years. And that was also thanks to our friends in the European Union, to our friends in Romania, in Poland, It is possible when our friends are united, as the motto and the framework of this event, United for Moldova, spells out. When we are united, we are strong. When we are united, we can provide that all-important assistance to our friends and neighbors in Ukraine. It is thanks to their sacrifice and their courage that today we can meet in this room, and we have still peace in the Republic of Moldova. And we count on all of your support that Ukraine ends up victorious in this war of aggression that the Russian government is waging on them. Because only a Ukrainian victory can provide sustainable peace in our region and the fulfillment of the legitimate craving of our people to return to the European family of nations. This is the commitment that we have made to our citizens, and we try to do our best to live up to this commitment every step of the way. Unfortunately, the regime in Moscow is doing everything they can to continue to deny us our European future. They have started in the early 90s with fomenting separatist regimes. They have continued with wars against our friends in Georgia, the annexation of Crimea, and then a full-fledged invasion almost 2 years ago. A bully does not stop until it is met with an equally strong, forceful response. And thankfully, the European Union and the Euro-Atlantic community has stepped up to the challenge. And I can only hope, as a citizen of Moldova and as a citizen of Europe, that the Euro-Atlantic community will live up to the aspirations of Ukrainians and Moldovans, and every citizen in the Euro-Atlantic community who is devoted to democracy. Because make no mistake, this war is about every single freedom that you hold dear. Ukrainians are not fighting only for territory. Ukrainians are not fighting only for their sovereignty. They are fighting for all the values that are so dear to our hearts. Because the regime in Moscow knows that if democracy flourishes in Ukraine, then people in Russia will start asking questions of their government. And Ukrainians have shown us all that they can remain resilient despite enormous challenges. And we in the Republic of Moldova will continue to do our utmost to provide the support that we can to our Ukrainian friends. Moldova has been known for too many years for usually bad things in international media. You know, the billion-dollar fraud, you know our troubled past 30 years and beyond. But it is now that we proudly embrace our new identity of a small country with a big heart. And we'll continue to do everything we can to support our European friends and our Ukrainian friends, because they are truly European by the virtue of their sacrifice every day. Thank you for being here, for providing your political support to the Republic of Moldova in these difficult times. And we will continue to defend the democratic freedoms in the Republic of Moldova and in this very chamber, because that is what our citizens expect of us. And thank you for supporting us in our ambition to return to the European family of nations. Thank you.